Why does our church even exist? The question lodged itself in my mind when I heard that a well-known church in Manhattan was looking to plant a church in our area. My husband had only been pastoring at our church for about a year, and we were already worn out from issues common to small immigrant churches. But this other church had a large, multi-ethnic ministry that attracted many of our Asian American peers, the kind of church I knew we would never be. So the question arose not out of jealousy or territorialism as much as from deep discouragement. If this more effective, better resourced church was going to start a church in our neighborhood, maybe we didn't need to be here. That was more than a decade ago. In the years since, God has answered my question hundreds of times. Week after week, I have witnessed how, like a mustard seed in a field or yeast working through dough, God is expanding his kingdom through our church and others like it.
This is overwhelming to me in so many ways because I, first of all, live in a small mountain town in western Colorado where I am the Asian in town. And so it feels like coming home in some amazing way. And so I made sure that I could be here. I'm super grateful.
But there was a period during the 80s and 90s in particular where many of us decided that we're going to go into ministry. There was a surge of God's grace where many people decided to step forward into ministry, missions work, or any other frontline ministry that's there. I'm not exactly sure, and I can't read the providence of God that is taking place. But I think surely it must be worth our time for us to pray that the Lord, through his Spirit, will bring among us many more leaders of not only our age, but ages behind us. For those of you brothers and sisters who are in your 50s and 60s and 70s, I wonder if this ought to be our prayer. That the Lord, before we are laid to rest with our forefathers and fall asleep, that one of the purposes surely of our generation that we leave behind is that we put all our energies, resources, and certainly prayers into equipping and raising and preparing men and women for the church to come 50 years from now. And as we think about the next story and the next chapter and the next step, that we may be able to say without any guile, I am not the Christ. I just want to point to Jesus Christ faithfully and clearly.
I hope and pray that you wouldn't feel the pressure to shrink back and go small, but you wouldn't feel the pressure to try and go big in order to prove yourself. But as you embrace just how wide and how long and how high and how deep is God's love for you, that you would live from your truest, most beautiful self, and that you would become the made in the image of God poem, masterpiece that you were created to be.